Addiction used to be a problem in the ghetto. Now it's hitting home. People also don't want residential treatment in a big home in their neighborhood.
There's just not a lot we can do to regulate these sober homes.
Anybody can open a sober home. They can open a sober home actively using heroin. No one's there to say, wait, that's not okay. No one wants that around, even if it's not happening.
Heroin is injecting itself into neighborhoods all over the valley. That's why more addicts are needing treatment or a place to get clean. But some people say not in my backyard.
Every week this month, Arizona's family has been taking on the opioid crisis. Tonight, we take a look at what's in place to balance the needs of those getting help with the needs of the neighbors. A school bus drops off kids in Scottsdale.
Well, I'm just shocked.
Right in front of a home.
This is scary to me.
Where people are dealing with addictions.
Sexual addictions and drug addictions.
The large home is in a $1 million neighborhood, and it's not the only one.
Apparently there's two there, and there's one down the street, too.
The home and the one right next door are run by Promises. And they run another one right down the block.
Obviously, parents in the area, weren't leaving their kids to be out.
Every day, there's a lot full of cars in the back. You'll see large commercial trucks delivering food. And there's an uneasy feeling with nearby neighbors.
On any given day, I could find people ringing my doorbell looking for the rehab.
They had to ask because up until recently, there was a fourth rehab catty corner from her home.
In the house over here was a heroin opiate detox.
Those treatment homes less than 400 feet apart.
We were very upset.
Much closer than required by the city. The close proximity of care homes, not just in this neighborhood.
I've been here 29 years now.
A longtime Scottsdale resident was afraid to be identified.
In a 2-block area, I think we have 8 of them. It's too much.
And in her case, that change not without problems.
They had parties out there. They would scream at each other, yelling obscenities. I couldn't sit in the backyard. There's absolutely no recourse.
And then we also have a yellow card if you'd like to give us some written comments.
So in December, the city of Scottsdale changed up the rules.
We had a very large turnout at the open houses.
It was in response to residents weary of group homes in their neighborhoods, hoping for more restrictions.
I would say this is probably one of the most toughest, contentious issues I've had to deal with.
Greg Bloomberg's a senior planner with the city and acknowledges the outcome was not what residents were hoping for.
And I think a lot of people maybe grudgingly understand that there's just not much that we can do.
The city lumps all group care homes together, the assisted living for the elderly or disabled, and homes used for drug and alcohol treatment. As part of the new rules, they must now be 1,200 feet apart. Before, they could be as close as 500. The state lists 2,728 licensed care homes. 406 are behavioral health facilities, homes used for drug and alcohol treatment. In Scottsdale's 212 licensed group homes, 1 in 10 are used to treat addiction, and the cost is staggering.
Treatment will go where money is.
One frustration with these big money businesses embedded in the neighborhood, nearby homeowners and families aren't told what's going on. Notification is not allowed.
These homes have a lot of protections.
That's because the Federal Fair Housing Act treats addiction as a disability, so the city says they can't discriminate. The transient nature of 30 to 90-day treatment plans raises another concern.
I'll never know who those neighbors are because they constantly change.
Perhaps most concerning in the most livable city, the influx of sober living homes where there's no care and no supervision. They can be anywhere in Scottsdale, even several in a row, and there's no easy way to tell just how many there are.
Definitely on the rise.
According to interventionist Carrie Davidson, unlike rehab homes, a sober living home is where an addict goes to live after treatment to work on their sobriety.
I know that there's active using going on in some of these homes. If they let the less rules, the more problems somebody's going to have. They can open a home with no regulations. There's nobody holding them accountable.
That's frightening.
It's terrifying.
No regulation includes no spacing requirements and no standard of care. Some who open sober living homes are former addicts.
The cause becomes a business, but when the money starts flowing, that business becomes a racket.
And again, no oversight.
People can just rent a house oftentimes, bring people in, and let's say they're renting the house for $1,000 a month. They bring 6 people in, charge them $500 a month. they're making money, and that's oftentimes the driving reason that they're doing the sober house under the guise of, hey, we're going to help people.
You allow sober homes, 109 the last count.
Residents who showed up to the hearings last year wanted the city to regulate sober living homes. After all, a state law passed in 2016 allows Arizona cities to do that. But Scottsdale says at the risk of expensive discrimination lawsuits, that's not going to happen.
We have to provide a single-family setting for sober living homes per federal law.
In Scottsdale's new ordinance, capacity was the only issue addressed for the sober living homes. The maximum residents allowed is now 6. That's down from 10 previously. But no one is going door to door checking for compliance. That's up to residents.
The only recourse right now is complaint. Either a neighbor makes a complaint and calls code enforcement.
At the hearings, Scottsdale police reported overall sober homes were not causing more problems in city neighborhoods. Some say a lot of the issue lies with perception.
Everyone will agree that there is a problem and these people need help. However, not in my backyard.